Since starting YouTube, one of the things that I absolutely hate the most is making an intro. It just feels so unnatural to me, and that's why I feel like it's hard for me to get into it, because once I'm already talking, then I feel more normal. But like having an intro is just really annoying, and honestly, you read the title, so I feel like you already know. So let's just talk about it. Body image, body hair, beauty standards, everything like that. I feel like it's important to talk about. It's things that I wish that I talked about when I was growing up. Firstly, with body image / insecurities, I feel like there's so many reasons that can get us to start feeling insecure about ourselves. And a few of them can be like beauty standards that you don't necessarily fit into. It could be something that someone said to you, like a mean comment when you were growing up, and that for whatever reason, that one thing just sticks in your head and you've always been insecure about it ever since. It could be something that you're doing for a guy you like, an opposite gender or whatever, just because it could be wanting to change something about ourselves for a person. Also, it could just be something we genuinely hate. Like, no matter what anyone says, we can't change our mind because we don't like it. And I feel like it's important to identify why you're insecure about something, because yeah, we already know what it is, but how can we figure out how to overcome it if we don't know why it is? And each one of those examples I said, I feel like can require something different to overcome it. So like, for example, the beauty standards one, I feel like if we are holding a specific image, like let's say the European beauty standard, if I am looking at that and I'm like, this is what beauty is, then I feel like I'm just saying that I'm inherently ugly. And if I'm saying that, then I'm like, okay, then what's the point? Like, now what? There's nothing to do after that. Like, I'm telling myself I'm ugly by saying that. I don't think that the solution would be like saying that people who look like that are not pretty, but I feel like it's important to broaden our scope of what beautiful is. And a lot of this can be subconscious. Like, we can just be absorbing all this media and content from the movies we watch, the books we read, the people we follow, and if they're all looking a specific way and that's something that we admire about them, then subconsciously we could be thinking that, oh, because we don't look like that, then we're not pretty. I remember that was something that I didn't know that I was doing growing up, because it was something so subconscious that I couldn't put my finger on it. You know what I mean? I just felt like there was something weird about me because of all the things that I was surrounding myself with. I was so like blinded by this that I would literally be watching like hair tutorials, and it would be like literal white women with 1A hair. I do not have 1A hair. I do not have the same textured hair. Granted, I was relaxed, which if you don't know, it's chemically straightening your hair at that point in my life, but still, it doesn't always function the same way, especially when you have like new growth and you have two different textures working. And I would literally be looking at hair tutorials and being like, why does my hair not do this? Because I was just so not aware that, okay, let me look at what's the difference between her and me. And like, instead of me trying to emulate that, let me emulate, not even emulate, but if I'm trying to get hair tips, let me get it from someone who looks like me, so I can get the hairstyle that best suits me, because it's not gonna be from over there. I remember too, like, I would only see love interests and the desirable characters being people who looked this very specific way, and none of them looked like me. And I feel like that also hurt my view of myself, because I didn't look like that. And like all these princesses or people on Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, they like, the it girl was not someone like me. They all looked very much the same. And when we're consuming things like that, even the books I read, like it would all be a specific girl, and like it made me feel like, I don't know, it just hurt my self-image, because you would only see like black girls as the comedic relief best friend. I don't want to only be seen as the supporting role in life. Like, I want to be my own person. I want to have my own fairy tale. I want there to be a wider scope of what beautiful looks like. And that's not just with race, that's with body, that could be with height, that could be with anything, even noses. If we only think that this one type of nose, this one button nose is the only kind of cute nose that is cute, then like pretty much crapping on all the other noses. Like, even this book. This is the book I'm currently, well, I haven't started yet, but this is the next book I'm about to read. Like, I would not have seen a black girl as the love interest for the life of me as a kid. If I saw this, I would have picked it up so quickly. I don't even know if this is a good book or bad book, but just the fact that now we're having books where, like, she's not the European beauty standard, like, but she's still the love interest. She's still desirable. She's still seen as something beautiful, because there's so many different ways beautiful looks like. And I feel like if you're insecure about something that is not just one thing, but it's the whole of what you are, your whole being, then I don't know how anything I say in this video and how anybody anyone ever says can change your mind about that, because at this point has nothing to do with what you look like. It's all about what's in your head, and you have to just change your mindset of what beautiful is. Growing up, I had people who said like, oh, I'm this race, so I'm not pretty and no one in school is gonna like me because we went to a predominantly white school. And I'm just like dang, like that hurts so much, because it's like you aren't ugly because of this one race or just one thing you cannot control. And so if you are feeling like your whole essence of everything you are, not that one thing is all of you, but just something you can't change, if you're insecure about that one thing, then like we just got to change our mindset on that stuff and start consuming things that showcase that there's more than one type of beautiful. I feel like a mean comment, something like someone said as a kid, it's also something that we have to mentally work through. It's funny because some things stick and some things don't. I remember being told things about my nose and my forehead as a kid that was in a mean way, trying to, I guess, make me feel more subconsciously insecure about it. But when I thought about it, and I thought about the people who said that, it would be the people who had the same features as me. So for example, I remember there was this one girl, she told me in middle school, elementary school, that when I smile, my nose turns into like a triangle shape. And I guess it does, I don't know, I don't care, but her nose even turned into a bigger triangle when she smiled and laughed. So I just feel like it was something that was projected onto her, and because she's trying to work through that or has problems with that, she tried to project that onto me. And like I remember being a little subconscious for maybe a week after she said that, but then I just stopped caring because I was like, I'm gonna laugh, I'm gonna smile. That's something that she's gotta work through, because I'm not gonna let her project that stuff onto me. Same thing with my forehead. Like, I know I have a big forehead, but like, thankfully it's not something I've ever been insecure about, because it's like, my parents gave me this forehead. I love my forehead, and it's been from people who also have a big forehead. I'm like, girl, if you got a big forehead, rock your big forehead. Thankfully, I was able to brush it off, but still, like, thinking about who the type of person is who said that, it's just like, you are not happy with yourself. So you're just trying to make me feel not happy about myself. Sucks, but that's none of my business. If you're insecure because of trying to please another person, like, I just don't really have anything else to say besides just don't. Like, no one else's view of you is more important than your own. So, yeah. It's just one of those things, you take it or leave it. I don't really have very much to say about that one. You'll always find something wrong with yourself if you think another person would like it better if you looked a certain way. Also, quick story time. I remember when I was in middle school, I had the biggest insecurity about my stretch marks. Like, it was during puberty. I'm growing. I got stretch marks on my butt and on my waist and also behind my legs, and I felt so insecure about them. They were like very dark and very like 3D, and even though no one would see them, like especially on my waist, like there was no reason. I wasn't a swimmer, like no one would see it, but I would feel so insecure about it, like being very conscious if I'm like raising my hand to make sure like my shirt doesn't ride up so anyone can see it. And like on my legs, I would put makeup on the back of my legs because I didn't want anyone to see my stretch marks. I remember I got off on my parents' white couch once, and they're like, what the heck is this? Which I thought was kind of funny. I did not say it was me, but like I would use so many creams, so many like ointments to try to let them go away or lighten up or whatever. And it's so funny because like I can't even tell you how I got over it, because it's literally just time and I just forgot. Like it was all of 8th grade that I was like rubbing these creams on my body, and then I just forgot. And I swear to you, it wasn't until college where I remembered that I was insecure about my stretch marks. And I was like looking at my body and I was like, what the heck? Like it took me, how old am I? It took me like 8 years or something. 9 years. It took, actually at the time it was like 8 years. I don't even know. It doesn't matter. It took me a long time to remember I was insecure about it. So I was looking at it and I was like, oh my God, they're not gone, but they're like super light now and almost invisible. Unless you're like staring down there. But those ointments and creams didn't do anything. Time made them lighter, and even if they didn't, I wouldn't have remembered. I don't even know when they got lighter. They just like, time just went on and it just like disappeared. And I feel like also with everything I'm saying right now, even if I was telling younger me all these things I'm saying, it wouldn't have, I don't feel like it would have made them feel as secure that I do feel right now, because it's still just time that makes things better. If you are someone who's like really insecure about something right now, and I know it sucks to say, but like sometimes time will just heal things. and you just forget about things and you realize, hey, yeah, I'm insecure about this, but over time I forgot about it, I grew to love it, and life goes on. But of course, there are some things where you just genuinely just don't like this certain thing about yourself, and I would be lying if I said there was something about me that time fixed. Like, I used to be very insecure about my teeth because it was like going in all different directions, and then I fixed them. Can I honestly say that time could have fixed it? I don't know, but you know, getting them fixed definitely did. So I don't even want to sit here and say that like embrace all of the things you're insecure about, because sometimes you just don't. And like, if you want to change something about yourself, then like go ahead. Like, but I just feel like it's important to know why you're doing it. If you're insecure about your body or your arms or something because you want to gain muscle, you want to get stronger because you just feel weak or whatever, and you like muscle, like I don't feel like that's a bad change to want to have. Like, it's your body, you do what you want to do. If you feel like that's something that would make you feel better and genuinely change the quality of your life, then go ahead and do it. I don't think every insecurity is a slippery slope that like, okay, I changed this thing, then I want to change this thing, and then this thing. I feel like if you feel that way, then it's actually like body dysmorphia. It's definitely a mental aspect that's making you feel this way, because if it's everything about you that you just don't like, then you gotta like work on your mind and not even touch your body. I remember there was a time where like, you know, I was puberty again. It was a very awkward time. I felt very insecure about myself. And I mean, I guess it's like maybe a combination of certain things that I already mentioned that I was insecure about, and then also just feeling like the odd one out in my environment because I went to school and it wasn't very diverse or whatever. Maybe the media I consumed, like I just didn't feel my best, okay? And I remember like I would not even like making eye contact with certain people. Like I could make eye contact with adults, family, but like if you're someone my age and we're not already friends, like I would not want to make eye contact with you. And it just because it felt so like intimate, it's like you're looking at me, and like I felt weird doing that. And I remember I didn't even realize until like 10th grade, and I was working on a group project with someone. I could not look at his eyes. Thankfully that didn't really last long, but I was very aware of it. I was like, what's wrong with me? If I could sum up this like entire body image thing, I would just say like, one, time heals, not everything, but time heals a lot. And the older you get, the more secure you feel in yourself and the less you care about other people. Because I feel like if I didn't have other people around influencing me, not even like because it's their fault, but you just genuinely get influenced by the people you're around and the people you see, I probably would have like not really felt the way I did growing up. You know, thinking about why you're insecure about something makes such a big difference in how to go about that and try to overcome your insecurities. And also like trying to differentiate is like, is it something that I just like dislike about this one thing about myself? Or is it my view of myself? Is it something that I need to change my body, or do I need to change my mindset? Because those two things, if you mix up the two, it can like really mess with your mind. And it doesn't matter how many things you change about yourself. If your mind is what needs to be changed, then it doesn't matter how many things you change about your body, because you'll always have this negative view of yourself. Yeah, let's talk about body hair. I have some thoughts. And also bringing back to 8th grade, I don't know why 8th grade was just one of those years where a lot of things were happening for me. I remember one time I was just sitting minding my own business, and then this kid comes up to me. He's like, you have hair on your legs. And I'm like, okay, thank you. I know I have hair on my legs. And the thing about me is like, I have very thin like leg hair. I don't really grow very much leg hair. And it's not really something that I care to shave very often. I probably shave my leg once every 6 months because I shave it. Like I shaved it recently, but it was only because I just felt like it. Like sometimes I just feel like it, right? And it takes maybe like 2 months to fully grow back, and it's still like pretty thin, and you can't even see it unless you're like right next to me and you're staring at my legs, which he was doing. After like it grows back, like I just don't care. I don't notice it. I wear long pants 99.9% of the time anyway. So like, and even if I was out wearing shorts and someone saw my leg hair, I just don't care. It's just leg hair. Like obviously with everyone else, like there are certain parts of my body I like to shave. Some parts I don't. The thing about shaving, right, is that sometimes it can really cause a lot of skin damage. You can get ingrown hairs, you can get hyperpigmentation, rashes, burns, like discoloration, like so many things that can happen when you consistently shave that area. And if you don't want to put up with it because it hurts, then like what's the big deal? It's like so natural to just grow hair from your body. So it's like arm hair. Like nobody cares if I have arm hair. My leg hair grows like my arm hair. I don't know if you can see, it's like pretty thin, like it's not that deep. Like, you want me to shave that too? Like I just don't care. Obviously there are the places that I prefer to shave. There are people who don't prefer to shave, and like I don't care. I don't even know, like, can everyone just mind their own business? I guess that's just the moral of the story. Like, I shave certain places that you probably shave. I probably don't shave places you shave. I don't know, like, it is what it is. Whatever someone decides to do with their body, with hair, with just their body in general, like, can we just like leave it alone? And if you think that your partner or someone will care about what you shave or what you don't shave, the person that's right for you won't care. It is what it is. Like, hair is so natural, and it's weird how like certain parts are socially acceptable but other parts are not socially acceptable, and it's like they're all made of the same stuff. Like, they're all hair. If it's gross somewhere, it should be gross everywhere. It also depends on gender. Like, if I grow out my hair, like my leg hair could be gross, but a guy, it's like normal. But it's like, it's the same thing. Whatever. But yeah, I also want to mention too, with just like body image and hair and stuff, like just try your best to block out all the noise. Block out the aunties who tell you that you need to like gain or lose weight. If you need to unfollow people because at this moment in life you feel like they're not contributing to your, I guess, self-love journey, then do that. And I also want to say, like, if that's something that you do, like, I don't want it to come off like there's something wrong with them and that they're projecting something or they're contributing to a unhealthy body standard or something. Because if we're all here trying to celebrate bodies and what they look like, then I feel like just because somebody might fit that ideal beauty standard, then that doesn't mean that like they're like they need to hide or something to make us feel better. Like, I remember I heard something about like, I think it was Madison Beer or something. Like, people were like getting on her saying that like you're the reason why I'm insecure or something like that. And like, I'm sorry, but like we just have to understand that if we're insecure, then it's not anyone else's fault for existing. Them being the way that they are and they're just living life, like I can't really say that's something that we can say like, oh, you're the reason, when it's like, no. But if you need to like unfollow them because you're on this love, like this journey, like I said, then go ahead and do that. But it's all love, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm missing a lot of things that I wanted to say, but we can definitely talk about something like this again later. But I definitely want to hear all of your thoughts and what you think about anything that I said. Yeah, if you have any girl chat recommendations, then you can leave that below as well. I try to do it once a month. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment if you enjoyed. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye.